Okay, Tom, thanks for coming in today. So I'm just going to observe your posture and just assess you a little bit, give you a few notes, and then we'll work on some mobilizers and some SMRs a bit later. So I'm just going to start down at your feet. So just make sure you're nice and relaxed. Just don't feel like you have to go upright. Stand how you normally stand. So starting with your feet, I've noticed that on your left side, your toes pretty straightforward, but then on your right, see how your toe slightly points out?
Yep.
So then moving up towards your knees, you can kind of see how that knee is more towards the front straight, whereas your right knee wants to come in a little bit. And then moving up, if it's alright for me to touch your hips.
Yep.
So have pretty even hips. I would say your right hip is just slightly higher. And then if you just hang your arms down, just how you do normally, that's really good. So see how your thumbs are right to the front?
Yep.
So that means there's not much rotation going on in your shoulders, which is really good. And then going on to your shoulders, they're really good, like they're very, very even, which is really good. Alright, moving on, we're going to go to our posterior view. So I'll start from the top. So again, your shoulders I can see are quite even. I would say just scaps, your right scap is just slightly higher. And then moving on to hips, again just same as before, that right side is just slightly higher. Moving on to your knees. I can see that they're both slightly pointed inwards. And then moving down to your toes, they're both slightly pointed out. And then finally, with the bottom of your feet, they're quite flat, which is good. Alright, next up, Tom, I'm just going to observe you from a lateral view. So starting with your right side. So again, I'll start at your feet. So I can see that there is a slight bit of dorsal flexion, so that means that your body kind of is moving forward a little bit. And then moving up to your knees, I can see that they are just slightly hyperextended. And then moving up to your spine, alright. I can see in your lower back there is just a slight little bit of scoliosis. That just means you have a little bit of arch. But then as you come up, your upper back is quite good actually. And then in terms of your trunk rotation, your right shoulder is coming back a little bit. So your shoulders are up nice and right, they're not shrugged forward or back, but I can see there is that rotation. So your left shoulder is kind of going more forward and your right shoulder is coming back. And then lastly, in terms of your head, I can see that your head is compensating for your shoulder and trunk rotation, so it's also slightly rotating to the right. Alright, so same thing again, but I'm just going to look from the left side. So starting at your feet. So on the left side, you actually have a slight bit of plantar flexion, so that's more of your body going back rather than forward. And then moving up, your left knee again is just slightly hyperextended. And then moving up again, there is just that bit of lower back scoliosis. And then moving up, same thing again, that left shoulder is just slightly a bit more forward, making your trunk rotate to the right a little. And then same thing again, your head is compensating by rotating to the right. Right, Tom, so now I'm just going to get you to do a sagittal step, so just stepping forward. If you want to do a couple on each leg, and I'm just going to have a quick observation. That's it. Good. Awesome. Other side. So what I can see is that, keep going. So on your right side, your knee wants to come in towards the middle of your body. Whereas on your left side, it's dead straight, and that's because of the positioning of your toe. So on your right side, your toe's coming in a little bit. So that's wanting that, that's making that knee come in. And then in terms of your hips, see on your left side, your hip stays very to the front, whereas on your right side, it's kind of rotating to the left. It's just coming in because of your knee also coming in. Good. All right, keep going. I'm just going to come to the side now. So one thing that's really good is that you have a nice even balance in your foot, so you're not making your feet go more towards the front first or your heel. It's quite even. You also have nice flat feet. The other thing is that when you step forward, I can also see that your trunk wants to slightly come forward as well. But other than that, it's perfect. Okay, next step is that I'm going to get you to do a lateral step. So you're just going to step out to the side, come back in. Same thing as before, just do a couple on each side. That's it. Good. Awesome. Other side. Good work. Alright, so one thing I'm noticing as you go, so keep doing a couple on each side. When you step out, your toes point outwards instead of forwards. So that also makes your knee follow them. You have a really good range. As you can see that your knee goes over your toe with your hip as well. That's it. Other side. The other thing is that when you're stepping out, I can also see that your trunk slightly leans forward. Awesome. And another good thing is that when you're stepping out, that other foot that's out isn't rotating at all. It's staying nice and flat to the ground, showing that you have a nice range, really good flexibility. But that's awesome work. Alright, Tom, lastly, I'm just going to get you to do a triangle step with reaching with your arm as well. So you're just going to step back on one side and then reaching down. That's it. Perfect. Good. Other side. That's it. Good. Awesome. So one thing I'm noticing is that when you're stepping out, I can't see much movement within your scaps. You do have that trunk rotation. And the other thing that's really good is that your eye line is following where you are reaching and changing positions. Awesome.